Hello and a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I want to discuss whether you should consider a move to Paraguay or not. I will give you 10 reasons why you should consider moving to Paraguay and 5 reasons against moving to this South American country. And please do comment below after you've watched this video whether you're inspired or not to move to Paraguay. So here are the advantages. Number 1, cost of living. Paraguay has a very low cost of living. To rent a 1-bedroom flat in Asunción, you can pay as little as $350 per month. In the heart of Asunción, for a decent sized apartment of 70 to 80 square meters, you will pay around $700 per month, which is much less than capitals in Western Europe, the US, and indeed most other Latin American countries. Now, rent in smaller cities and towns is obviously even lower. And food costs and eating out are quite low as well, and so is transportation. Now, I think if you're careful with your spending, as a single person, you can live for around $1,000 per month in the capital, Asunción. Number 2, reasonable property prices. Now, although getting official property price statistics is not easy, property is generally quite cheap in Paraguay. In the capital, expect to pay between $900 and $1,500 per square meter, and of course, much less outside the capital, Asunción. Now, a good starting point is to look at the website clasipar.com. Here I saw apartments which were around 150 to 200,000 US dollars, which were really nice. Now, do consider though that for locals, even these prices, which may look cheap to you, are very expensive for local people. Number 3, very friendly people. The Paraguayan people are extremely friendly. They are welcoming to foreigners, and you should have very few problems making friends and acquaintances here. Number 4, low taxation. Paraguay is considered somewhat of a tax haven. The standard rate of income tax is only 10%. Furthermore, you're only taxed from income you earn in Paraguay itself. Number 5, safety. Paraguay is generally considered a safe country. In particular, murder rates are at the lower end when it comes to Latin American countries. Now, murder rates in Brazil and in particular Mexico are much higher than Paraguay. And this is despite the fact that Mexico and Brazil have much higher GDP per capita than Paraguay. Number 6, quality healthcare and education. Paraguay has a good healthcare system. All residents, including expats, have access to public hospitals and clinics. There are also reasonably priced private healthcare facilities as well. And the public education system for schools is free to all students, including expats. There are also several international schools, and of course there are universities as well. Number 7, politically stable. Paraguay has a politically stable environment. Political parties do not tend to be extreme here. Paraguay is a liberal democracy with a pro-business and pro-foreigner mentality. Number 8, quite good economic figures. Now, over the last 10 years, there's been some very good GDP growth here. Notably, in the years 2013 to 2018, where growth ranged from 3.2% to 8.3%. And in the pandemic year 2020, GDP only dropped by 0.8%. Now, Paraguay also has lowish inflation at 3.5%, and unemployment here is below 6%. Now, although on the increase, Paraguay's total government debt to GDP is only 32%, much lower than the US, Japan, and most European countries. Number 9, good weather. Paraguay has a very sunny climate. For most of the year, you will see sunshine here. But please bear in mind, summers are very hot, with temperatures hitting 40 degrees. Another thing to consider, you don't really get natural disasters in Paraguay. Number 10, food and nature. Paraguay provides a high quality of meat and grows plenty of fruit and vegetables, so you will never be short of good and healthy food here. And for nature lovers, Paraguay has some stunning landscapes, waterfalls and lakes. So I've given you the advantages. Now let's briefly look at 5 disadvantages. And I think number 1 is the biggest one, is accessibility. There are not many direct flights to Paraguay's capital, Asunción. There are no direct flights from North America and only one from Europe, that being Madrid. And I think this can be a problem if you need to travel regularly to and from Paraguay. Number 2, Paraguay is landlocked. Now, being landlocked, the lack of direct access to the sea means potentially higher transport and transit costs. And of course, being landlocked means you don't get too much access to a beach, although there are some beaches near rivers in Paraguay. Number 3, poverty. Now, although developing and fast, and we've seen some good GDP growth, Paraguay is still really a relatively poor country. Number 4, poor infrastructure. Now, not all the roads are well maintained and developed. You can also get outages as well in Paraguay, so the infrastructure is not amazing. And finally, number 5, many people say that Paraguay is still too reliant on the agricultural industry and has limited really trading partners. It's very heavily reliant on Brazil and Argentina as its trading partners. Now, in conclusion, I would say it's definitely worth considering moving to Paraguay. Now, I would consider moving here, but I have to be honest, I would find Paraguay just perhaps a little bit too boring for what I like, for example. So if you're into a little bit more of international sports events, a little bit more internationality, then perhaps Paraguay might not quite be the place to actually come and live. Although I think, to be honest, I think there's more advantages than disadvantages of moving to Paraguay. And certainly it's a country I think you can consider moving to, not least as I've given you 10 good reasons to move. Anyway, please let me know your thoughts. Please do comment below and let me know if you are interested or not in moving to this South American country. Anyway, that's it for today. Again, thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you soon on the next video.